Alright, we are live. So I'm mainly thinking that we're probably going to be bullish for the day because as we see on the daily time frame, we created a market structure shift right here, and we have been pretty bullish recently. So I'm probably going to be more bullish today. Let me just check on the 4-hour time frame. Yeah. I'm also looking at ES on another screen, and we are looking pretty bullish. But I'm looking at probably the London lows if we are going to be bearish today, and we open pretty bearish here at 9:30. I think we have. Let me just check. We have news coming out here at 10 a.m. You know, Paul speaks, and Jackson Holiday too. So it's going to be exciting. Let's check 1 hour. But I don't really know if we're going to reach all the way up to previous day's high, if I have to be honest, because it doesn't really look like we're going to expand that much this session here, but we didn't really expand that much here in London, so it could be. But it really just depends on what the AM session is going to look like. Maybe in the PM session we could reach this high, but that's being really conservative. I think we are actually more bullish here on NQ compared to ES right now. But I mean, ES is reacting more aggressively to the sell side liquidity, and we just swept equal lows. Yeah, we're about to reach up into this premium right here. Probably going to pay attention to this fair value right here. I hope everything is right with the stream because I set it up in like 20 minutes. Because I just decided today that I want to go live. So if everything's great, just type yes. I think this Favaldi gap right here is actually extremely significant here in the daily time frame because it's the Favaldi gap that also created that market structure shift that we had here on the daily time frame. As we can see, we have been pretty bullish here recently. So this market structure shift is just giving a very significant confirmation that we are going to move higher, and this Favaldi gap is a part of that. So if this Favaldi gap is going to hold and push price higher, and also going to run out this high, I definitely think we could reach this high all the way up here, or just make new all-time highs. But this Vivaldi gap right here on the 4 hour, I'm definitely going to pay attention to this constant encouragement. And if we look on the 15-minute, yeah, we swept that sell side liquidity or the equal lows, which is pretty bullish. Now it's just about what reaction we're going to have off of that. I'm trying not to make it, too overwhelming with all the rectangles and all that. Aren't people paying attention to what is Fed Chair Paul, about the interest rates? Isn't that what's mainly going on right now? And of course, inflation. Those aren't those the main drivers to what's going to happen here at 10 a.m. I think so, actually. Okay, I see over here on ES we have already purged through this constant encouragement. I think you guys can just see right here. Where is it? Yeah, here. You can see we have already reached this constant encouragement, but on NQ we haven't yet. So it's really about how the reaction or what kind of reaction we're going to have. But I'm definitely paying attention to price reaching up into this premium. I don't really want to see price go lower already because if we get up into a premium and then move lower, then we have more confirmation to our bias going further into the AM session. Okay, so I'm bearish on the gold. Oh yeah, I can see that. So I'm interesting to see if this 2-minute fair value gap is going to hold, because if it's not, I can just show you. Then we are going to disrespect a well, it's kind of a premium fair value gap, as you can see that upper portion. So that is probably going to be pretty bullish, if I would say. And something that I actually paid attention towards in my journal recently is right here on the 4-hour time frame on ES. You can see right here that we reached this higher time frame internal range liquidity, which I had as a drawn liquidity once we started to move into this fair value gap down here. Because this higher time frame internal range liquidity, if we are going to make a close above it, then that would kind of indicate that we are probably going to reach this high up here, which is the all-time high on ES. But we didn't really close above it, so now I'm just paying attention to this fair value gap right here. And I can just draw it out right there. You can see our next, our next point of interest is going to be that upper quadrant of this value gap right here, the 0.75. So that's definitely a point of interest that I think price is probably going to reach today. So we can see we have reached that premium on ES, but on NQ we haven't yet. So that is a concern of mine. Okay, so we are about to reach that 930 high here. But as we can see, that sell side liquidity, as I told you guys before, is going to have a strong reaction on both pairs, especially now that it is equal lows. And that is also occurring here on ES. And if you were to take a setup, I can just show you on ES. It would probably be either this 2-minute balanced price range, or, you know, I wouldn't really say that you should take this because, as we can see, I don't really like to trade balanced price ranges, or when there's a Favaldi gap at a inversion Favaldi gap, I would rather prefer there not being a Favaldi gap, because that inversion Favaldi gap, I want it to stand out by itself. And that, because that would make me, or that would give more confidence to the trade that price is going to reach the high that I'm initially targeting. But as we can see, that 2-minute Favaldi gap just got inversed. So let's see if this would hold. Or maybe we would actually reach this right here. So still, I think just 1 hour, not yet reached that premium of the range. I think it's, if I just show you guys here, it's right above that high. So it would actually be perfect if we were to go up, sweep that high, maybe reach all the way up to the point of interest here at 10 a.m. and then reverse from there. But it really just depends. You know, the news can fluctuate and do something different. Yeah, doesn't really look like that 2-minute IFG is going to hold here. As we can see, it is about to get close beneath. Or maybe not. We also have this Favaldi gap in here. If this gets close beneath, I'm definitely not thinking this 2-minute IFG is going to work. But right now, looks like it actually. But I'm probably not going to take a trade entry before, you know, we're very close to Fed Chair Paul. But I was thinking this ES trade right here, actually. I can just show you right here. This one right here, because you can see we have a clean sweep right here. On sell side, we have a pretty good IFG. We do have a volume balance, which I don't really like, but if it were to be a B plus setup, it would be nice. But actually not, because when we are rebalancing a IFG, or would you know, we have just wicked up into it and then closes beneath it, I don't really like to see that when taking IFG trade entries. I would just like to see price make the delivery and then straight from there make it close above the IFG, instead of, you know, seeing something like this, because in most cases scenario, as we're seeing right now, price is going to reach our IRL up here, which is our drawn liquidity. So that's something that I don't really like to see. If you just go around NQ again, yeah, right here. So we can actually see that, yeah, the 2-minute fair value gap hold it, and this would actually be a pretty bullish trade entry right here, because price, as we can see, respected that consequent encouragement after wicking all the way down here. So that is pretty bullish. Right now, I'm kind of thinking if we are going to reach that point of interest when Fed Chair Paul is going to speak, maybe not. What is your guys' strong liquidity here on ES for today? Or just NQ? Yeah, 15-minute time frame is definitely looking bullish right now. We can see, look at that clean sweep, you know. We had equal lows, which is a pretty good drawn liquidity. We left it there for a while. 9:30 occurs, clean sweep, and then we start to move higher. That is really, really beautiful. 5 minute not looking so clean actually right now, as we can see. Because look at how large that wick went all the way through this IFG. It would have been a good trade entry, you know, but I don't really like to see that. But we did create an order block though within this IFG, which is pretty bullish. So it does look like right now that this 2-minute IFG is working. This would probably be the break even or up here for the trade entry. But as we can see, right now we are starting to move down into this 2-minute IFG again. And if I just pull the 15-minute up here. Price action yesterday wasn't really that good, to be honest. It was really choppy. I didn't really manage to take any trade entries. I just stayed out of it when I saw that price action. And you might wonder what this drawn liquidity is up here. And that is mainly, if I go over here to 4-hour time frame, is this high up here. Because though we did create a SMT at this high, but I'm still looking if we are bullish to see if price can draw towards this high, because it would be considered as low resistance liquidity if we are bullish. And that is something that I've seen price action do much recently, and that is basically, you know, reaching these highs when we are bullish, though there is a SMT at the highs. So if you just go to the 15-minute time frame here again, or actually you can see this is kind of indicating to a bit choppy price action, you know, going back and forth into this 2-minute IFG. And here we are closing pretty bearish because we closed beneath that consequent encouragement. But maybe I'm looking at this low down here to see a more valid market structure shift, as this wasn't really that clean. Actually extremely significant here on the daily time frame, because it's, you know, it's the Favaldi gap that also created that market structure 2-minute. It's, you know, it's the Favaldi gap that also created that market structure 2-minute. It's, you know, it's the Favaldi gap. Oh, we might just see a pretty bullish delivery here. And maybe you guys heard some noise, you know, me talking twice. It's because I'm looking to see if everything is good on the stream. Oh, wow. We can see how price is fluctuating right now as we are getting close to that 10 a.m. Fit poll chair talk. Same over here on ES. Let me just zoom out here. Okay, let's see what happens. And as we can see, we did reach that consequent encouragement as we anticipated. And we also reached the premium. So it's pretty good. Now I just want to see if price can manage to reach that point of interest that we had. But it's alright price action, to be honest. Lucky people who took that IFG there and held it through the 10 a.m. news, which is not recommended. And also, actually, if we go over here on ES, let me just find it. The trade on the 1 minute time frame did actually hold, but we don't really want to hold it through the 10 a.m. news. So looking, yeah, I think we're probably going to reach it right here now. And we did it. Now it's just about if we are going to close above it or if we are going to have a strong reaction to it. We can see that counter encouragement. Maybe we are going to make a strong reaction from it. But if we're closing above it, I may consider price going to reach this previous day's high here, maybe in the lunch session or the PM session. But it's definitely looking like a strong draw on liquidity if we make it close above it. And then if we start to move higher from that previous day's high, or we run out the previous day's high, the draw on liquidity, as mentioned before, is definitely also going to be a significant draw on liquidity. But if we go over here on ES, actually, I'm very interested because that is way more bullish. If we just see right here, yeah, we can see how bullish ES is actually right now. We're just pumping higher, and I can just go way right here. Now, I think ES could potentially actually reach this previous day's high within that AM session. But it really just depends, what we're going to do over here on MNQ, because if we make any short-term SMT that is going to make price fluctuate and go in the opposite direction, we might just not reach that high. Okay, we are having a bearish reaction from that point of interest. It's also about what is occurring over here on ES. Actually, let me just check. Yeah, we did actually reach up into this significant Favaldi gap. I didn't notice that before. This one right here. That could make price go lower, but as we can see, we did spike right through it. It's about, the bodies tell the story. And if we make a close above it, and I can actually just show you how's it looking on the 1 minute time frame. And on the 1 minute time, wrong pair, right here, we can see we did actually close above it on the 1 minute time frame. But we do have to remember how significant the 1 minute time frame is going to be towards the 1 hour time frame. And as I can already tell you, that the 1 minute time frame is not going to have a huge impact on the 1 hour time frame, but it could have a small impact. It just depends. Let me just turn it off again. So pretty bullish right now. Maybe if we close above the Favaldi gap on the 15-minute time frame, we might just also, close above it on the 1 minute time frame, as the slower time frame is giving early confirmations to if we're going to close above or beneath a Favaldi gap. So that's probably going to be what we are going to focus on for the next 15 minutes or so. And ES is also looking pretty bullish. So bullish AM session. I think it's looking a bit better than yesterday. But as we have to remember, it is Friday. We do have high impact news drivers. or wait, Fed Chair Paul speaks, and that could fluctuate how price is going to move or affect how price is going to move, and that could mean bad price action. So that's just something that we have to keep in mind when looking at this Friday right here. So as we can see, looks pretty bearish right now. But if I go up here on NQ again, we can see we are getting a bit support from this Vivaldi gap right here. And we did get a more significant market structure shift also. So that's something that we have to take into consideration right here. And also another thing is that you can see how price reached down into this Vivaldi gap, but there's something that we have to keep in mind, and that is look at how price reached all the way down and then also reached down into this previous day's high or beneath that previous day's high, and that could also be an indicator to push price higher. And if we draw out our Fibonacci tool only on the Vivaldi gap, we can see that the lower quadrant or price also did make a small mohawk through that lower quadrant. So looking pretty bullish right now. I want to see if this is going to hold or not. I don't think so. So this could actually be an entry. Let's see if this is going to hold. Price it didn't actually rank a retracement into the FTG. That's surprisingly. But I think we are going to make a Vivaldi gap right here. And I don't really want to see that, to be honest. I just want it to be a plain IFEG. Nothing more and nothing less. Yeah, as we can see, we created that Vivaldi gap. So, really depends, because I don't really think it's going to hold. Or maybe. Because that is a kind of strong immediate rebalance right here. And we can see, I want to see, when we're trading IFGs, I want to see a immediate rebalance either at the, I can just show you. So when we create this kind of V shape, as you can see right here, price is going down and then price is going up. And this V shape right here, let me just show you. This right here could be considered as a balanced price range, as we know. But when price, is moving higher again, then I want to see price make a retracement all the way down to the Vivaldi gap again, and actually even further. Because if price does this or do this, then it would indicate that price is willing to move higher, or that would give us more confirmation. Because price, as we can see, has closed both above a IFEG and is creating a immediate rebalance. So there's two concepts which are going to push price higher. But as we can see, this Vivaldi gap or IFG did work as anticipated. Because, or one of the main reasons is also, if we look over here, we created a second immediate rebalance that made price go higher. So yeah, that's pretty clean. But we are looking bullish over here. I think maybe the 15-minute time frame is going to close above that point of interest. But it's looking pretty bullish. Yeah, ES is definitely looking way more bullish right now. Look at this right here. We are almost at that previous day's high. So we actually predicted price action pretty well this time, because we anticipated previous day's high is going to be the drawn liquidity if we were bullish above that premium. So yeah, definitely a good AM session so far. To be honest, I didn't really expect this. 3 minutes until that closure. And to be honest, right now on ES, I don't really have that much of a draw on liquidity, a higher time frame, a weekly, daily draw on liquidity at the moment, other than the all-time highs. Because right now I'm just, I'm looking for that confirmation. Let me just show you what I'm trying to say right here. So if we go up here on daily, we can see that we have the all-time highs up here. And at the moment, I'm looking to see if price wants to give confirmation to move higher. Because the one thing that I am interested in is this bad boy right here. Look at how perfect this is. Reached up to that constant encouragement, then move lower. But when we have these kind of news days, which can make other decisions in price action, affect price action in the true bias, that is going to result in something like this, as we can see. It could be that price initially wants to move lower, but, Fed Chair Paul is coming with good news, I think. I'm not really that experienced in that space, but as we can see, price is currently just moving higher after a more significant Vivaldi gap delivery down here. So, overall, I just want to see some confirmation on the lower time frame, such as a market structure shift up here or price running out this high, to then seeing at last the all-time highs being reached. So I'm definitely bullish on the higher time frame. And as we can see on the weekly, there's not really anything that is trying to push price lower here. So pretty bullish. And on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that the Vivaldi gap didn't really last long. So a very bullish AM session so far. Let me just go on NQ again. Yeah, we can see NQ is kind of the sixth sister in this case scenario, because it's not really following along with ES. Actually, maybe we will not close above that previous day's high on the 15-minute time frame. But yeah, if we do, I'm bullish. So let's just see. At the moment, does not look like. We did actually. So, the bias were pretty bullish. And we did also do that on ES. On ES also. So, the bias is bullish. Now that's confirmed, definitely. Yeah, we maybe create an IVG here on, the ES, so that will be pretty bullish. Nah, we didn't. But you know, these days, like, or some of these days, like this Friday right here, we have to remember not to be manipulated of the market, because the market, as we know, can be very manipulating. Such as, let's say that you were bearish in this leg because we saw this point of interest get reached in a premium, or this premium for volley gap get reached right here. We didn't really expect a closure above it. Those kind of things can, trigger us as smart money traders. So that's just something that we have to keep in mind, that we have to be, clear headed or clear minded. But if we do take trade entries like this one right here, we're shorting at this bearish Favaldi gap in a premium, then we just have to remember the idea, the way we're thinking is correct. It was just not the bias on that day. So you have to maybe analyze the bias more in a way than we just did. So at the moment, I think maybe we're going to get in a bullish trend, starting to make immediate rebalances, Favaldi gaps and breakaway gaps again and again. Yeah, but it really just depends what the market is willing to do right here. Looking pretty bearish now. I'm actually curious, did we reach a 50-minute Favaldi gap all the way up here? No, we did actually not. Why are we moving lower? That's a good question. Maybe it could be that. Actually. So we reached this high over here, or we reached a more significant high. You guys may remember that. So if I just go up here on the 1 hour time frame, we reached this high all the way over here. So this high right here could be seen as a high resistance liquidity. So as we know, as I've explained in one of my videos, when we create a market share shift to the downside, this area, and when we do it to the upside, let's just say right here, then there's going to be low resistance liquidity in this area. But once we get above that, it becomes high resistance liquidity. And that is something that I actually haven't really put in my analysis. So, if price is going to move lower, it's going to move lower. But this could also be a rejection block. But we have to see now. So that's something that you guys should also take notes in. And I think, I haven't made a video about it when I talked about high resistance liquidity and low resistance liquidity. And that's basically these ranges right here, from the low all the way up to the high. That's where there's going to be placed low resistance liquidity. Once we get above it, we might or might not have high resistance liquidity, depending on the bias, of course. So if we just delete this right here, that's definitely one for the journals. I think. So, we can see again, almost reached that high. ES is definitely looking pretty bearish, but I think NQ is way more bearish right now, isn't it? Let's just check. No, I wouldn't say so actually. I've gone to 1 hour time, and it's pretty even right now. So maybe NQ will take over for the rest of the AM session. This IVG is looking interesting, actually. But we have two in this case, so not really. Let's just see. So we are kind of reacting right now, but the question is, why are we moving higher right now? And sometimes we may figure it out, and sometimes it may be like this, as we can see. Lower quadrant of a large wick can of course make price move higher. So 1 hour time frame. Okay. Let me just go on the 4 hour time frame actually. So the 4 hour time frame, I think, yeah, we moved higher from that upper quadrant. So the 4 hour time frame, I mean, this Vivaldi gap could of course be a good reason to make price move lower. But when I want to see price move lower, or when I want to see a good confirmation, that's where I want to see price reach a algorithmic signature, because then we're going to get a lot more confirmation than price just moving lower from a Vivaldi gap, of course. So that's something that I pay attention towards. And as we can see, we are kind of rebounding right now on both ES and NQ. We're soon above that FVG again, which is our point of interest. But I'm actually very surprised that none of the both pairs, or ES and NQ, reached this low down here. That is actually pretty interesting, as I expected. We can see right here actually that price is moving higher. Maybe we have a 2-minute IFG, but personally I wouldn't actually take this trade entry, and there's a good reason. So I am actually going to mention this in one of the videos. I think maybe this weekend there's going to release a video, but my editor is a bit slow this time, so maybe not. But one of the things that I say I focus on is 3 things: delivery, IFG, drawn liquidity. Those are the 3 main factors that I focus on. I'm not going to say more. It's just a little teaser to the video. So basically, IFG, no delivery, no trade entry. So can't really take this one right here. It's not really valid according to my trading plan. But yeah, we are seeing higher price action here on ES right now. Same with NQ. So it's just about seeing which one is more bullish. So we do have equal highs up here, which could be a good draw on liquidity. So we can see, actually, we did not reach this FEG right here. I would like to see that, because when we reach these Vivaldi gaps in a bullish trend right here, and we have a drawn liquidity, that just makes price action much more safe, or our anticipation is much more safe in this case. So equal highs, still a much weighted drawn liquidity. Reach the consequent encouragement. So as we can see, price that reached that consequent encouragement. Higher price action is anticipated. And we did actually also, let me just check on ES. We can also see it here on ES. Failed to reach the consequent encouragement. And the reason I want to see price fail to reach consequent encouragement, that means price is so bullish that it doesn't really want to go down there. It just wants to go higher right after that. So that's pretty bullish. Same with NQ. This is also pretty bullish. Very small mohawk. So maybe not. We're going to reach these equal highs up here. It just depends. But right now we can see we are a bit of consolidating. Wouldn't really say so because we're only 2 candles in. But when we have had such volatile price action, the future sessions could not be that volatile. That's what we much must remember, and that's also something that we see within the London session. So if the London session has expanded, then we could actually anticipate the Nasdaq, or sorry, the AM session to maybe not expand that much. So that's like, the golden rule, or just a rule that I think most people should know, because it can determine if you're going to trade that day or you're not going to trade that day, or good price action and bad price action. And we don't want to be caught in bad price action. So as we anticipated, the highs got reached. And it was based on our drawn liquidity, as we also anticipated, of course. So not really much going on here in price action, to be honest. Price just, moving higher and lower at the current moment. But as we see, we are mostly bullish. We do have a kind of bullish trend, if you want to call that. But if we were bearish, I want to see price make a close beneath this low right here, as that would make a valid market structure shift. But we do also have to remember there's a lot of support down here. As we can see, a lot of Favaldi gaps, a lot of lows, etc., to make price move higher again. So the bias is mostly bullish again. And wow, ES is actually really pumping higher right now. I can just show you guys. So right here, ES almost reached that previous day's high, which is our drawn liquidity. Interesting. But I want to see, definitely want to see, NQ follow up on this bullish trend right here, because if NQ is not following up, we might just not have that much of a great session. So definitely want to see NQ also follow up on this bullish trend right here. Yeah. Let me just look at how the 4-hour is looking actually. So the 4-hour time frame, yeah, still pretty bullish. The same bias again. No, not much happened here. 1 hour, same. 15-minute. Wow, 15-minute actually looking pretty bullish. As you can see, the Favalli gap, it held right now, or it's holding right now. But price, right here, wow, just failed to dip down to that high. Let me just check on the 1 hour time frame again. So we can also draw out actually our OTE from the high all the way down to the low, because the OTE, as most of you guys already know, is a key factor to looking where a potential reversal could occur. And as we can see, this Liga right here is looking pretty good. So this is our next point of interest, if price wants to go there. So we got a closure beneath that FEG, so could look pretty bearish right here. Depends on if price is going to make a FEG beneath this market structure shift right here. So yeah, let me just SS. So looking pretty bearish right now. IFEG, FEG, market structure shift. Maybe not worth going all the way lower to the London lows. I doubt that, to be honest. So don't really think price is going to do that. As we can see, right? Wow, the euro dollar is bullish. But we can see right here on ES, price still pretty bullish. Also, let me just go right here. We can see the ES isn't really following up on that bearish trend as NQ right here. But this actually looks not that bearish, to be honest. Because I wanted to see that Favalli gap within the market structure shift, not without. That isn't really that much of a confirmation, to be honest. So could be just maybe another IVG entry. Who knows? But definitely curious about what ES is going to do, because ES is kind of the leading pair in this case, and NQ is following up, but it's not that much of a difference. It's pretty even. As we can see, it's disrespecting that bearish market structure shift, just about what the Favalli gap is going to do to price. We're definitely seeing price right now move lower. So, I would give in. We respected that. So, okay, we're actually looking bearish, surprisingly. I see. I can just see ES and NQ. So, could be the OTE, could be just price following a bearish trend. Doesn't really look that much like price wants to move lower. It depends on how we are respecting the fair value gaps or how we are responding to these bullish fair value gaps. If we're closing or if we're just immediately disrespecting them, just rallying through them and closing beneath them, then it will look pretty bearish. But as you can see, if I want to be bearish, I don't want to see this kind of price action. You can see price at this candle, it didn't really close beneath that FEG, and I want to see that if I want to be bearish. I don't just want to see price respecting it, So I can't really go bearish at the moment, but depends on this next 1 hour close. It really all depends on it, because if we close above the point of interest, we're bullish. If we don't, we're bearish. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. And same with ES. I definitely want to see if ES closes above it and NQ doesn't. I don't really know about the bias. I'm probably more neutral and flexible to see what's going on, but I'm mostly bullish then. Yeah, we're also kind of respecting that FEG on ES. Let me just show you. Where's it's not there. Right here, as you can see. This one right here. We have a fair value gap delivery, drawn liquidity, IFEG. This could be a potential trade entry, but as we can see, I want to see price immediately close above it, else it's showing that price isn't really willing to move that much higher, so don't really want to see that at the moment. We also have LR. Oh, it's finally Friday today. It's been a good. I don't really want to say it's been a good trading week, to be honest. Price action hasn't been that good, so. But yeah. Okay, so we are respecting this Feldiger right here. Disrespecting this guy right here. Looking bearish. It's not really the most perfect bearish trend at the moment. As we can see, it's slowly moving lower. Not really expanding lower, in my opinion. So, not that perfect. Yeah. If we're bearish, I definitely want to see a closure beneath this. Let me just check on NQ. So yeah, NQ is currently the leader. Depending on how bearish we are, just check. Where is ES? Yeah, ES right here. Looking bearish. Wow, we might just reach all the way down to these two lows down here. Definitely something that I'm going to be interested in. I just want to clarify, just because I said it's a point of interest doesn't mean it's a drawn liquidity. I'm just interested in seeing what's going to happen down here. Could be a sweep, then a rally. But as we can see, we are creating a lot of highs down here, a lot of low resistance liquidity. So might just be bullish, and this is a short retracement. Who knows? Yes, we can see doesn't really look that bearish on the 15-minute, does it? Hmm. What's ES doing right now? Let me just check. So ES also close beneath that. 15-minute time frame on NQ. Yeah. Let me just clear up the charts. 2 seconds. So 15-minute time frame can be a bit tricky because it is kind of the leading time frame to the 1 minute 5 minute time frame. So that's why I'm having the 15-minute time frame mostly. I've just shown you the 1 hour time frame a lot here because we have that point of interest. But the 15-minute time frame is definitely something that I want to focus on here because the 15-minute time frame, as I told you guys, is the current leader to the 5 and 1 minute time frame. So, and also the 15-minute time frame PD race is going to have a big influence on the 5 minute and 1 minute time frame. So there's also something that you have to pay attention towards. But I'm kind of a bit annoyed that price didn't really reach this Fabulous go up here. I wanted to see price reach this, but it didn't. So let me just check on the 1 hour time frame again. Yeah, looking pretty bearish going into the 11 a.m. So going to be interesting. Okay, so we can see this price action. I mean, I would say from 10:25 until now, price action has been extremely choppy. Or, I mean, it's not like a barcode. It's not just directly to the right and just flat. But it hasn't really, we haven't really seen any big moves, big IVGs, very good trade entries, in my opinion, that I want to see at the moment. But yeah. So we can see prices at the moment being a bit more bullish, and we're seeing a bit more structure. Closing above that IFG right here, reclaimed FEG. So I'm interested in seeing if price is going to use this or utilize it to move higher again. We're not really moving down to these lows down here. Let me just go on NQ again for you guys. So right here, we're not moving down to these lows. And I actually do want to see that if we are mostly bullish, we can be extremely bullish or we can be semi-bullish. If we're extremely bullish, I don't want to see these lows get touched. If we're like semi-bullish, we could either be bearish. I want to see these get swept and then move higher again. So this is where the pairs are kind of moving against each other. As we can see, let me just find these. So it's not, directly moving against each other. Both pairs are bearish, but one pair is disrespecting AIFG, and that's where NQ, as we just saw before, is respecting it. So we're bearish on one hand and then bullish on one hand, but at the end we are bearish in this case. So maybe we're going to reach these lows down here. Definitely interesting. Yeah, we're probably going to make a SMT. Yeah, SMT at the lows. Maybe that could be something that's going to make price raise, but at the moment I'm actually thinking that this FEG up here is making price move lower. I was initially bullish, but I'm just bearish now, depending on if price is going to close beneath this. So we have been pretty flexible today. We can also see how that constant encouragement is aligning with that 0.62 of the OTE. So that is something that I'd like to see. Solid SMT here. Oh yeah, that FEG definitely did something. How is the 4-hour looking? Okay. Yeah, these London lows. Look at these equal lows. A nice appetizer for price action. Really is. They are perfect. Right there. Definitely something that I'm looking at the moment. Yeah, price should actually go down to these lows. And ES not really following, to be honest. Let me just show you. So you can see right here. ES aren't really following that much. So, interesting price action today. Definitely is. So that IFG definitely did something. Could be a trade entry. Let me know if any of you guys took this. Oh, and we reached. Oh, come on. So we reached the lows. Nice. SMT. Pretty bearish here. I don't know. Is it Fitcher's Paul? It's because he's talking Fitcher. How long does he talk? Hmm. 2 seconds. Let me just check. Fitcher Powell live. I think. Yeah, he's still talking actually. Wow. Okay. 50 minutes. Damn, that's a long time. I don't know if he's old or anything. Still a long time to talk. Yeah, so we did create a SNT right here. That's nice to see. So, it did really have a huge impact, this point of interest. Definitely something for the notes. Just before we thought the price was going to reach the previous day's high. Now it's just the opposite. So, interesting. These are the previous day's lows. Think, is it a seek and destroy day? A little bit. A bit like yesterday, to be honest. I think I'm going to end stream here at 10 minutes, at the end of the AM session. So we can see we are getting a bit of bullishness here, but it could just be a retracement, as we know. Price is making retracement at these points right here. Let me just check to be sure. Do we have any algorithmic signatures? Yes, we do, actually, right here at the lower quadrant. Interesting. If we move lower, yes, has made new AM lows, but we're still not that close to the London lows, which I do want to see. Interesting. Let me just show you right here. Yes, yep. Look, right there. Down here's the London lows, but we actually have a SMT on the lows, on the equal lows, so interesting. Let's just check on this 15-minute time frame. Wow, pretty bearish. Let's just check on ES. Yeah, we're also pretty bearish. So I should probably have been a bit more flexible for today. But yeah, not really that many trade entry opportunities. I can just find some that I looked for actually today. So the first one was this one right here, but as we know, we couldn't really take it because we had Fitcher Paul news in about 1 minute, so couldn't really take that. Also looked at this one, wasn't really that good because the balance price range up here, nothing, and if not anything up here, equal highs up here. Not much today actually. NQ. Yeah. Not really much also here on NQ. To be honest, maybe this one was the only one, but we did had another IFG up here. Drawn liquidity was decent. So, price action this week, not the best. Today, definitely not the best. But it's fine. It's not that bad. You know, there's also always a new week. Just gotta wait for the next one. Maybe we can actually see. So the London lows was, we didn't really see, that much of a strong reaction to this SMT at the London lows, which I definitely wanted to see if we was more bearish or bullish. I mean, because if we just go over here again to NQ right here, we can see we did reach our point of interest within the OTE, started to move lower there, reached the equal London lows, which was our initial point of interest or just our point of interest. And we can also see we did reach these two lows up here. So overall, we were pretty bearish. Was expecting a bit more bullish actually, to be honest. I also talked about that at the start of stream. But yeah, leaning to the bearish side here. And if we were to be bullish, I definitely wanted to see a more strong reaction to these London lows, as we can see here on, let me just go to ES. We can see here on ES, price didn't reach them, so we still have a SMT, still room for bullish price action, but isn't really likely. Okay, we are getting some structure, a bit of bullishness here. The only way I would be bullish in this case in this scenario right here would be that we make a close above this high, above that IFG, but still, it's not going to make up for this bearish fair value gap delivery right up here, as we can see them both on ES and NQ. Point of interest within OTE didn't really reach our next point of interest, so But we do still have ASMT. That's one we must keep in mind, you know. Maybe there's room for a reversal. Who knows? And let me just draw the ASMT right here. Right there. So, NQ. 15, how's the 15-minute looking? Yeah. 15-minute looking also looking pretty bearish initially. Would be pretty amazing for the bullish people for today if we were to go all the way up here in 3 minutes. But to this above the Favali gap, but probably not likely. Could. So, as we're actually seeing pretty bullish. Wow, I didn't expect that. So, if we close above this, it does actually look like we are going to do that on ES. It's looking like our idea is working indeed. Didn't really expect that. Thought we were just going lower. But we're not all closed above that Favali gap. But we did create this right here, which I like to see. So, let's draw this out right here. And on ES, like that. So, ES is looking like this right now. And, or let me just, so you can see, pretty bullish. Definitely the bullish leader here compared to NQ. And if we go up here to MNQ, are a bit bearish, but still very bullish. And 1 hour time frame looking pretty bearish. It looks like a seek and destroy day today, if I were to be honest, just like yesterday. But it's also anticipated now that we have Fed Chair Powell speaking, so definitely going to make price fluctuate. But I'm definitely interested if we are going to reach this previous day's high here, because initially I thought price was going to reach the previous day's high here by the end of the AM session if we were going to reach that point of interest or close above the Favali gap, which was our point of interest, but we didn't really do that. So yeah, maybe if we are bullish, you know, at the closure here at the AM session, we could see that previous day's high become a drawn liquidity, but I don't know about that. Maybe in the PM session. Who knows? So I think I'm going to end stream here. Actually, it's been nice streaming for a little bit. You know, reviewing price action. So see you guys.